So the Baltimore Ravens have 4 games remaining on their 2024 season before it is go time in the playoffs. And the coaching staff, including quarterbacks coach T. Martin, defensive coordinator Zach Orr, Todd Monken, all these guys addressed the media and had very important statements to take away. We're going to break those down, talk about the Ravens schedule moving forward, specifically with Zach Orr talking about this defense improving, says that they're just getting started.
I still think there's a whole nother level we can get to, man. We just getting started where we need to be at.
And we're going to kind of break down where the Ravens are statistically and big picture-wise during this bye week. So, man, let's go ahead and dive into the content. Welcome into another episode of Ravens Reports. It's your guy Noah here with For the Flock. As always, bringing you guys our top 5 news reports and storylines coming out of our Ravens today. I hope you guys are doing great, having a fantastic day. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Ravens finish this season. I think everything they want to accomplish is still right ahead of them. And let's go ahead and start at number 1 with a big picture overview of where the Baltimore Ravens are at right now. So if you're wondering if this Ravens team can win a Super Bowl, starting off, man, they do have the best offense in football still. They are first overall in yards per game, ahead of the, vaunted Detroit Lions, Packers, Eagles. Man, the Ravens are first in the NFL in yards per game, total yards, and it's not even really close. The Ravens are third in the NFL in passing yards per game, and if you want to see how complete they are, they're also second in the NFL in rushing yards per game at 179.1, only behind the Philadelphia Eagles, who we just took a brutal loss to. And when it comes to points per game, which is the stat that really matters, they're third in the NFL. And if you look at the stat and who's ahead of them in the AFC, it's only one team. It's the Buffalo Bills. They averaged 29.6. We averaged 29.5. So a tenth of a point away, and as far as average points per game. And the last time we played the Buffalo Bills, we blew their doors off. So if I ask you, who are you intimidated of? Who do you think is just absolutely going to blow us out in the playoffs? You can't name a single AFC team, and you can't tell me there's a single AFC team that wants to host Baltimore or go on the road to play Baltimore in the playoffs because of Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and the playmakers on defense. This is not a team that you want to see in December and January right now. So while the Ravens have issues, other teams have issues as well, and I think the Ravens have as good a shot as anyone in the AFC to go win a Super Bowl this season. And when it comes to defense, the Ravens are 23rd in the NFL in points per game allowed, but I want you guys to look at the last 5 weeks or so. They only gave up 24 points to the Eagles. That is one of the best and hottest teams in the NFL right now, and they held them in check, forced many punts in that game. They held the Chargers to 23. They held the Steelers to 18. The Bengals, they gave up 34 points, but the Bengals are putting 30 up on basically every team they play this year, and it's a division game. But the week before that, only 10 to the Broncos. We also saw some flashes earlier in the season where we held the Commanders, one of the hottest offenses at the time, to 23, and the Buffalo Bills to 10, earlier in the season when we played them on Sunday Night Football. This defense has been improving, especially the last few weeks when the Ravens made safety changes, when they took Marcus Williams out of the starting lineup, took Eddie Jackson. They literally waived him. He's not even on the team anymore. Tre'Davious White and Nate Wiggins getting more playing time at corner, some schematic changes and stuff. They've been really improving. And at number 2, here's what Zach Orr had to say on that improvement and about how they're just getting started.
Yeah, I think so. I think we definitely improved. I think we definitely got better. It's good to see it start showing up in games. Guys have always worked hard. Obviously, we tweaked some stuff with personnel, with scheme and communication. But I still think there's a whole nother level we can get to, man. We just getting started where we need to be at. And we got 4 weeks left. We're going to continue to work hard throughout this week as coaches, players get some time off. And the expectation when we come back is, man, we got to be dominant on defense. So we took a step in the right direction, definitely from early in the season, but there's still a whole lot we can get better at.
So he says, I think we improved. It's good to see it start showing up in games. We're just getting started where we need to be at. If this defense starts to play like they have been the last several weeks, against good offenses, mind you, if they continue that into the postseason, and we see this number 1 offense in the league right now manifest, and they continue to put up 25, 30, 40 type performances, it's going to be really hard for a team to beat Baltimore in the playoffs. We've talked about it all year about how talented this defense is with Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, Matabike, Owe, Van Noy, Marlon Humphrey having a career year, and just like guys not playing up to their standards, some communication issues, coverage busts, stuff like that, where it's been a problem. However, with these guys starting to play better and the message that was sent, Marlon Humphrey talked about it. Hey, man, he said the message was sent that if you don't want to play, you're not going to be on the field, but if you want to play ball, man, you're going to be out there. Clear message was sent that if you're not performing, no matter what your name is, no matter how much money you're making, i.e. Marcus Williams, you will not be out there on a football field. But at number 3, a big part of the defense has been a absolute stud in the middle of it, and he's been battling injury. That's Travis Jones, okay? So I want you guys to think back with me to the beginning of the season before Travis Jones had that ankle injury and missed a little bit of time. Remember how dominant he was. I mean, he was blowing up double teams. He was getting in the face of the quarterback, down in and down out, blowing up run concepts. The full breakout was there for Travis Jones. Then he had an ankle injury. He's missed a little bit of time. He's been missing practices most times, for rest. But he's been going out there and battling and being a warrior. Defensive coordinator Zach Orr revealed today that, man, he's been playing on one leg, basically. He said there's not a single player on the defense that I think this bye week will benefit more than for Travis Jones. Here's what he had to say.
He's a warrior, man. He's a warrior. I mean, he does everything he can to go out there and go play for us, and we know he's not 100%, nowhere near it. And I've actually talked about it with the staff today. I said this is going to help him. The bye week's going to help him the most, on our team from a defensive standpoint. It's a lot of people it's going to help, but it's going to help him because, when he's healthy, when he's feeling good, I mean, he's going to be dominant, and I can't wait, for him to get some rest and come back out of his bye week feeling real good and get him back playing to how he was playing. And he's been playing good, but he's out there basically on one leg essentially. So it's not as dominant as it's been, but the bye week's gonna do great for him. I'm excited about Big Trav, for real. I'm really excited about him. I'm glad the bye week it came at a good time for him, and he's gonna be ready to roll.
So I think guys getting rest will be big time. I think of guys like Derrick Henry, that's been, getting a lot of carries. It's a long season. I think of guys like Travis Jones, obviously, who's been dealing with an ankle injury. And then I think about Michael Pierce coming off IR. I think about, Rashad Bateman right now, who has a sore knee, and he went out early in the game against the Eagles. I think about all these players that are going to really benefit from this bye week. Even Lamar Jackson, who has, gotten beat up a little bit at times and had to rest during practice and stuff. But I think about this late bye week and the last 4 games heading into the playoffs. I think this Ravens team can get healthier, and I think they can get hot heading into the dance. At number 4, we're going to talk about some of the offensive coaching staff, what they had to say. Specifically, we'll start off with T. Martin talking about Lamar Jackson's improvement, what he set on, going into the offseason before this season even started to improve on, and how it's manifested in this season with Lamar Jackson leading the NFL in many statistical categories. Lamar Jackson is second in the NFL right now in passing yards. He is first in passer rating, fourth in QBR, 29 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, which is the best ratio in the NFL right now. And here's why.
Physically, I think as a passer, he's taking leaps and bounds from where we started off season last year, spring training camp last season, and then picking up where we left off. He made some goals to be quicker, on his feet. We saw how he looks now when he reported to training camp, and pass. Technique-wise, being more accurate at all of the throws in all field zones. We made a key point to work on throws outside the numbers, in the deeper field zones, outside the numbers, post route, go routes, things of that nature, on the run, scramble throws. Those are things that we intentionally wanted to come into the season to be improved at and better at. So as you look at his numbers, you look at statistically where he's at, he's improved in all of those areas. As far as the system, he's just another year advanced in it, from protections, from progressions, from knowing what to expect so that he can anticipate and get the ball out. He's not being sacked as much. He's not being flushed as much. That helps out the O-line and so on and so forth. But the addition of Derrick Henry, having another complimentary back, another explosive weapon with him, and being able to make it all work together and still have the type of performance that he's having at quarterback, is complimentary to him and the work that he's been putting in. But, coaching him every day, listening to him, working with him, his mind is on another level. What he sees, what he thinks about, what he anticipates, and how he acts on it is another year advanced. And I'm really proud of where he's come from and where he's at right now and how he's playing.
At number 5, speaking of Lamar Jackson and the type of improvements that he's made, the media asked Todd Monken, the Ravens offensive coordinator, how he has improved or changed as a leader and how important the quarterback position is, and about how, hey, whenever a team doesn't win a Super Bowl, you never hear any of our skill guys. You never hear Mark Andrews, Bate, Zay, Henry. They never get any flack, right? It's the quarterback. And here's that perspective and what Todd Monken had to say on that matter.
In some ways, I think the more success you have, which he's had success, but he's also been healthy, the same players you're around every day, it becomes easier to say things to guys. Same system. I just think he's more comfortable being able to say things to the players. T's done a great job with him in terms of promoting that, which is part of that. Like, it's okay. The players love to play with Lamar because he's highly competitive and he's such a good dude. He's such a good person. They love him. It's hard not to love Lamar Jackson. But with that, when you become the quarterback, is okay, how do you want it to look? You're an extension of us. I mean, you're the closest thing tied to winning that we are. The quarterback is. I mean, that's a fact. I mean, no one critiques a skilled player for not winning the Super Bowl. I haven't heard one person critique one of our players for not winning the Super Bowl. Well, they're all over it. That's just the way it comes with. So he's an extension of us. So, okay, how do you evolve to, hey, okay, you're an extension of us. You're an extension of our team. How do you want it to look? And that's not easy. It's not easy for us. Not easy for him to be that. But winning's important to him. Being a great teammate's important to him. Being coachable is important to him. All the things that you want in a quarterback, and he's just starting to grow, and T's bringing that out in him, to be able to do that. Now, again, that's not easy for any player to do that with their teammates.
So I always enjoy listening to Todd Monken's press conferences because he's very cerebral. He's a deep thinker, and he's also just really raw and honest on a lot of things. Speaking of raw and honesty, man, here's what he had to say on the Ravens being on Hard Knocks.
Well, I even forgot about it till you brought it up, so that sucks. You brought that up. I think it's a major distraction, so I don't deal with it. So I know it's not what they want to hear, but it's hard enough to focus and get ready and then worry about. I just have to worry about this once a week. I don't want to worry about it every day of what I say, how I say it, how it's perceived, whatever it is. It's hard enough to win in the NFL than to stay focused on what we got to do this week as a coaching staff. Let our guys get rest, get ready to go for this 4-game stretch, analyze who we are, where we want to continue to go, how we've got to continue to get better, who we're going to be playing to give us the best chance to win every week.
So he just lets it out and says, hey, man, I think it's a major distraction. I know that's not what they want to hear, what I'm supposed to say, but he just got brutally honest. So on the remaining schedule, the Baltimore Ravens have Giants, Steelers, Texans, and Browns. In our next video, we're going to talk about if the Baltimore Ravens can run the remaining schedule and what that would look like as far as playoff seeding and everything else, divisional implications, seeding implications, and all that stuff. So make sure you have your subscribe and notification bell on so you don't miss that upload, man. As always, smash the like button if you got any value out of today's content. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next video.
When he wasn't looking, he ran me over.